Hey guys, I just want to do a quick little demo here on how to mount a spoiler on a car. This is a 2004 Impala that didn't come with a spoiler, and it looks much better with one. And you can buy these on eBay. I think I paid maybe $94 with shipping. You just got to give them your paint code off the inside of your door, and usually it takes about 7 days and shows up at your door. So if you've never done one before, the instructions are a little confusing. I think the instructions, sometimes they have pictures and sometimes they don't, and this one didn't. But if I didn't do this before, I'd have no idea what I was doing. So basically, you got your spoiler, and you're going to turn it upside down. And these here are called locating strips. Now when you first look at it, you may think that these two holes should line up this way. Well, they don't. What you want to do, there's a little bit of tackiness on these holes here. You peel off the backing and press these on, and the tack it's kind of light, but it's that way for a reason. And then you want the strips to hang so that you can put tape on here and hold it down, and then you're going to lift the spoiler off. So first thing you want to do is get your locating strips on both sides, and then you want to locate it on your trunk exactly where you want it. So take a little bit of time and do it right, because once it's mounted, and if it's a little off, if you're like me, that will bother you forever. So I'm going to get this one located and taped down, and that's going to be the first step, and then we'll go through the second step. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my tape right here that is holding down the locator strips, and this is Gorilla tape. Do not use the blue painter's tape. I've used that before, thinking, oh, it's not going to leave any residue on the car. Well, that stuff doesn't stick hard enough, and when you lift the spoiler off, the tape comes right off with it. And then here you can see my other strip of tape, and the same thing on this side. Duct tape will work also, but I like that stuff here. It's really good. It does leave residue, but a little bit of Goo Gone will take that off when I'm done. So it's all located. I've done a couple measurements and everything's pretty well centered. So now I'm just going to lift the spoiler straight off. Make sure my tape is held down good. Just like that. Now the locator strips, as you can see, those two holes there are where I'm going to drill the holes, so the bolts can come up through the trunk, through the gasket, and then mount into the spoiler. So I'm going to drill the holes with 1/16 drill bit first. It's kind of a pilot hole, and then I'm going to drill them out to 5/16 of an inch in diameter. That is step 2. As you can see, I've got the locator strips off. I've drilled the 2 pilot holes on each side. And now what I recommend doing is open your trunk and just take a look at where the holes are. Because if for some reason this does not work out, you'd want to stop right now. So it looks like I've got plenty of clearance and no problems getting the screws in. I don't have to worry about anything hitting. Maybe if you drilled in maybe too far this way and you are into this stiffened area, you might want to stop and figure out what you need to do to change. Worst case, a body shop could fix the holes you drilled, but that's why I drill the little holes first. So it looks like everything is clear, and now I'm just going to close the trunk back up, and I'm going to drill those holes out to 5/16 diameter. Okay, so now that your holes are drilled out, See, I just put one screw in, but you can see my 5/16 diameter hole right there. The holes are drilled down on both sides, and it comes with this little self-adhesive gasket with 2 holes in it. Those line up with the screw holes that are in your spoiler. Go ahead and stick that gasket on, and that gasket, and just snug it a little bit, and that will hold the spoiler kind of in place so that you can get the screw on the other side. So then all you do is walk around to this side, and you don't need 2 people to do this. It probably would make it a little easier, but with the clearance in the holes and the rubber gasket, it doesn't slide around much, so you don't have to worry about it. So you should be able to just pull this one up and line up the screw hole. And this is a plastic ABS spoiler, so it is very lightweight. Since this car does have the shock assist on it, you don't want to put a heavy spoiler on it, otherwise the trunk will just keep falling down. If you put, maybe a 10-12 pound spoiler on there, like a sheet metal one, it's not gonna stay open. You'll probably have to put in stronger lift supports. So you can see I got 2 screws holding the spoiler in, and all they are is not even finger tight. I mean, I just only turned it maybe 1 turn. So once I get the other 2 screws in, all I have to do is snug them down. And don't snug these down so tight that you strip the threads, because you can strip them real easy. I've never done it before, but I've seen it done. These are, this thing probably only weighs 3 pounds, and it's not going anywhere. All you need to do is make sure it stays on your trunk. So once that starts to feel a little tight, give it 1/4 turn, and that's it. That's all the tighter you need to make it. If you strip the screws out or the threads out, you can maybe drill and tap it out to a bigger size thread, but like I said, all you need to do is just keep it secure. It's not going to go anywhere. So hopefully you've learned something from my experience of me putting a couple of these spoilers on. I know the first one I did was kind of intimidating, and took a little bit of practice over the last 2-3 spoilers I've put on to figure out the best way to do it. So thanks for watching. And then once you're all done and you got all your screws tightened down, close your trunk up, and make sure that the screw heads are not pushing against any sheet metal and causing your trunk lid to raise up any. This one's still nice and flush, so there's no problem with the screw heads. And that's about it. This whole thing should take maybe 45 minutes. Alright guys, thanks for watching.